I'm not sure what you think you're doing here, but you're dead wrong. The more you get involved with things you don't understand, the more doomed you are, you know. It's kind of funny to me that people like you constantly do this. You think you're in the right just because society agrees with you. And everything falls through the cracks when things start to go bad. So why, tell me why, should I take pity on you? I just don't understand you. Nor can I understand the heroes. But I think vigilantes make the least sense to me. No matter what you stand for, it's gotta make sense. And if you get yourself caught like this, caught, stabbed, left for dead, what's next? You just end up a blink in time, left to rot. As much as I'd like to stick around, there's not much acceptance I can give to you. If you're looking for pity, find it elsewhere. Look at you, wallowing in futility just like that. And each and every time you do, there's a measure of blissful ignorance, cuteness beyond the futility. Like an animal struggling in the jaws of a predator. And just what do you hope to accomplish, I wonder? It doesn't make sense to me. And yet I can't really argue with it. You're just doing what everyone does. You're just being another person, another victim. Haven't you ever gotten tired of that feeling? Doesn't it get old to be on the losing end? If you want to do something about it, why don't you take my hand? Now it's a strange offer I've got for you. I might just end up killing you. You never know until we get to Overall. You see, things are different now. The world isn't what we make it. Not sunshine and rainbows either. If you want to change it, sometimes you have to get your hands dirty. That's what I do. You don't exactly join the mafia to be a good person. You join it to accomplish something bigger than yourself. That's why I'm friends with Overall. But let's face it, none of this is about him, is it? It's about you and me, and why you're here, right now. I can't tell that reason, but I don't need to. I can see it in your eyes. You're just a kid who doesn't know what they're doing. You don't know what you're getting yourself into, and you think the world is under your control. Maybe because you had a few good heists. Maybe something that you've done to take down a villain. Or maybe you're a villain yourself. Just someone who got in over their head. And what of it, kid? What does it actually matter at the end of the day? If you get yourself caught so fucking easy. And just why would anyone take pity or try and stop you from undoing yourself when that's all you've proven you can do? I like those eyes. Those eyes filled with hatred for me. You shouldn't have. You know, this could go many different ways, but the only way I can see you wanting it to go is the rough way. You've got that attitude, kid. That attitude like a little mouse caught in a trap. Is that what you want to be called? My cute little mouse. You are caught in my trap, because for all those cuts on your back, I slowed your perception. I slowed your movement. Now all you can do is lay there. And if I let you stay, something tells me the bigger rats are gonna feast on you tonight. So, you better come up with a real good argument. as to why I should waste my time with you. I see. So you're gonna play the silent card. It wouldn't be what I would choose, but I guess I could make a slight exception for those eyes. Well, don't misunderstand this as empty kindness. I'm neither a hero nor a villain. Just a man who accomplishes something, who works towards a goal, a unified and greater good. You can judge me all you want. A mafia is just there to do exactly what I want it to. And you are mine now. Go ahead and struggle. In fact, I encourage it. If you can survive while struggling, then you've done better than most people, which is already something more than I'd expect from a street urchin like you, a little mouse in a rat's den. Why were you following me? You know, I would have thought you were a spy and killed you on the spot, but you don't strike me as one. Now it's either the smartest decision I've ever made, or the dumbest one, and I guess we'll find out by the end of the night. You see, you're not going anywhere, and even if you wanted to use that fancy quirk of yours, there isn't anything you could do with it. Isn't that just the futility of life? You go until you slow down, until you're in the grips of a bigger predator, and then they take you. They rip you in their jaws, or they spare you. They save you for later, a morsel, a snack, until you become the predator that eats them. Having the nerve to laugh at this point. To be honest, I can't discern if it's bravery, stupidity, both, or maybe it's just you asking for me to kill you. Well, lucky for you, I'm in a pretty good mood today. I'm only gonna tell you my name once, so commit it to memory. It's the name of your life's benefactor, Hari Kurono. Don't forget it. My friend overall, and the leader of my particular group. He'll be meeting you at some point. You're going to join said group. I like your quirk. And I like you, kid. You're a mouse, but I can make you into a rat. Maybe even a wolf. We'll have to see how you use that quirk. Especially against our enemies. That's the real test. Don't you realize it, little mouse? Who you bare your fangs at isn't as important as the fact that they need to meet their mark. It doesn't matter if you yell at a lion, it's still going to eat you. But if you can bite it, if you can win that 1 in a billion, then maybe the mouse can take down a lion or even an elephant. You never know. Why is it I'm the one that's going to have to carry you, yet you seem to be fussing? Would you rather I just kicked you when you're down, left you for the rats, bloodied and beaten? You seem like you're a contradiction, and I just don't understand it. You must have seen the alternative, and yet still you fight with me. That fight is either intense stupidity, or maybe you just don't know when to give up. You remind me of myself. You have no idea how lucky you are that you do. It doesn't change who you are, though, and you're mine. That's because the role of the mafia is finders keepers. We work towards a goal, but our personal endeavors, they don't interact. So, what you want and what you need are now completely two separate things. Your orders are absolute, and you try and run, and you'll find yourself in a great amount of suffering, maybe death. You don't want to find out. As your first order, tell me all about your quirk, strengths, weaknesses. Now's not the time to keep a tight lip. And wear this. It's your mask now. It's kind of a thing we do. Protect our identity. It protects other things too, but you'll learn the ins and outs when we get back to base. Just remember, never trust the League of Villains, and don't bother with any heroes. They won't help you. Trust me. Heroes are just a pretty word. No one actually lives up to that image. They try to, and they fail so beautifully. That's where we come in. To do the real change. Help this world be a better place. So, you ready to change the world? Or are you just gonna be that rat? No. You're a mouse. You're not even a rat yet. Welcome to the rat's den now. You're gonna be staying here, in this mafia. You won't have a choice in the matter, and you need to keep yourself behaved. Because what happens here, your responsibility is my responsibility. I saved you. Now, you represent me. You're my underling. And whatever I want, and whatever I need, you're going to help me get. Do you understand now, little mouse? You're trapped in a cage, and I'm telling you to run in that maze, and you run all the way to get your piece of cheese. And if you stop for anything, that's it. There isn't really a story after that, is there? You'll be rearranged into the wall or something. Sorry, that's just how things work. Just to give a perspective, you don't want that. Death by overall doesn't look pretty. It's funny, kid. The reason why I did this, it's probably not what you're thinking. I didn't rescue you to get an underling. I rescued you because that look in your eyes. You've got potential and I can see it. Not as some vigilante, empty-handed at the end of the day, but as someone of a bigger cause. Your quirk isn't half bad too, even though you haven't told me about it. Learn to take orders. It's going to help you in the long run. You stop, and you die. That's just how things are. So as long as you keep going, expect things to be interesting here. And trust me, we're not just vandals. We take care of our own. Anyone in our group, you can count on them. We're not going to backstab you unless you try and backstab us first. Anyone stupid enough to mess with us, they've all met the same fate. It happens time and time again. They try and outsmart us, and in the end, they end up fish food. And trust me, it's a terrible way to go. You don't want to end up in the bottom of a lake with concrete shoes. Trust me, screams are terrible, and when the bubbles stop, it's just not the same anymore. At least you don't have to see it like overhauling, but in a way I've gotten so used to it. He's a friend, and I approve of his vision. That's all that matters at the end of the day. Once he's set his mind on something, that's it. It's going to happen. And likewise, I'd like to think of myself as a little bit more reasonable. As for my personal matters, you are going to be attending to me. Now, before anything else happens, look around you. Respect the environment. And here's your first meal. I know, kid. You've probably not had one in a week, by the looks at you. So eat up. Don't worry about the price of the meal. I told you, we're not just cold-hearted killers. We take care of our own. You still don't trust me? Fine. How about now? The mask is off, and you can see me in the raw. Do you really think I'd go out of my way to... You think it's poison, then? Well, I guess there's no other way than to take a bite. Listen, little mouse. I'm only doing this because I give a shit about you. Why? Because I see potential in you. Look. Would I eat my own poison? Why would I poison you when I could just have left you? Don't be stupid. You're gonna have to be smarter than that, you know. Things aren't that simple outside. And I don't like taking off my mask for no reason. You're such a cocky little fella, aren't you? Got myself a difficult one, huh? Eat the food. Do you want me to shove your face in it? Can't you just accept something nice? Do I really intimidate or look like some kind of heartless bastard? I can be, but not to everyone. Don't you understand how the Mafia works? You really must have been feral out there. Were you from the underground? I've heard rumors of what it's like down there. Homeless. Lost yourself in one of the villain attacks, huh? You really do remind me of myself. No wonder you have those eyes. When you know loss like that, that's how it works. I know, you're old enough. You might even be my age, but it's different when you're on your own, right? You had your family swept up from under the rug. And suddenly you're on the streets all alone with debt up to your eyeballs, let me guess. Stories sound familiar. Yeah, it was mine too. I guess I'm glad. Glad I rescued you. You know, Mouth, you've got a lot to learn, but enjoy the meal. Trust me, I didn't make a mistake taking you in. I'm not doing this just for any particular reason, but maybe it's more than I just saw something. Now eat up before I get pissed off, okay? I could be an asshole about this and just shove you in the food. Or I could force feed you by stabbing you in the back with my quirk again and freezing your time. Is that what you want? Ready for these hair follicles to go into your back again? Yeah, it stings, doesn't it? Now eat up. That's right. Was that so hard? Definitely not. Look at you. You've got eyes full of something. Hate, desires, revenge. I can imagine. Those heroes and villains always fighting, but they never truly know who they're fighting for. That's just it. It's not the heroes or villains that's to blame. It's the quirks that make them so fucking dangerous. That's what killed them, isn't it? Something based in a quirk. That's why the world doesn't need them. That's why what Overhaul's doing is what we all need. We can't just let it run rampant. The more we do that, the more this world goes to shit. The more we watch loved ones die in front of our eyes because heroes and villains were too busy solving some stupid feud. And that's exactly why people can't be trusted with so much power. That's why I hate mine. In a way, I hate yours too. Not that I got anything against you. It's just the nature of it. If they didn't exist, if things were just normal, everything in this world could be better. It could be idealistic. Imagine if there were no All Mights, no All for Ones, no Endeavors, no Overalls. Maybe it would be a better place and I wouldn't have to worry about this. Don't misunderstand me, Mouse. If you're trying to get around the subject now, you're wrong. I don't dislike Overhaul because he's one of the few who wants to accomplish this. He hates quirks just as much as me. He understands them. And, for better or worse, he annihilates them. That's the only way we win this, is by saving the people from their own curse. Now the question is, where do you want to be in this, kid? If you're going to be a mouse and just stay a mouse, you'll probably have no place in the Mafia. But if you want to change the world, then come with me. Join and wear that mask proudly. We're here to fix those who are sick, those who can't fix themselves. That's why I stand with Overall. Because as it stands, the world will never be cured. It's going to spiral out of control until more people lose their loved ones all at once. More people end up dead who never decided when they walked out that door to risk their lives. They were caught in the crossfire. How many more innocents need to suffer before they realize? There's only two options. It's either to fight for something or to die for nothing. And I choose to fight. What do you choose, Matt? I'll take you taking that bite as a warm first attempt. Not bad. Now eat up. You'll need your energy. From here on out, it's going to be difficult. Welcome to the Mafia. It's going to be a tough first day, definitely. But you'll get through it. And if you make a mistake, I'll have to handle your punishment. Don't forget that when you go in front of Overhaul. Careful what you say. He may be a good man, but he's not known for his saintly patience. Remember, address him as the boss. Don't try and be buddy-buddy. He really doesn't like strangers pretending to know him. Anything pretentious, I wouldn't recommend it. So, in other words, just tell him what he wants to hear, yes or no questions. Get fancy, well, and let's just say I'll have to punish you for it. You're my responsibility. Don't embarrass me out there, Mouse. The moment you do that, well, you're gonna put me in a bind. Would you really want to do that? I think you can tell I'm not a bad guy. Just someone who can be. If I had to compare myself to an affinity, an alignment, I'd say I'm neutral order. I want the world to function in chaos, of course. But I want that chaos to become an order. Something that is far more dignified, unified, justified. But enough about me. Go and do your best. I wish I could give you more tips, but depends upon the day. Well, well, well. What do we have here? Could it be Someone trying to join our just cause. Welcome. What's your name? Ah, yes. So, are you ready for the initiation? Of course you are, or else you wouldn't be stupid enough to stand in front of me like that. So why don't we see if you're sick? Yes, come here. It's as simple as shaking my hand. Oh, what do we have here? Someone trying to deny the chain of command like that. Already. And to think I had such high hopes of you. Now, if you had something to back it, that's completely different. But now, your little test of courage is a big fat failure. Now we'll have to test you in something more, like dodging bullets. Do you fancy yourself fast? Well, I suppose there's only one way to find out how fast. Why don't you dance? Bang. It was only a joke. I'm in a fairly good mood today. So, I'll just ask my good friend who saved you to punish you half as much. Of course, it's going to be good. I promise. Oh, and don't get that attitude with me again, or else I might mistake you for someone who's sick, and we wouldn't want that, would we? You had to pull the tough act, didn't you? Didn't I warn you about that? Yes, I could have sworn I said, exactly don't fucking do what you did. Well, too late now. You still have your life, but pulling that tough act, I told you, he doesn't take it well. You had an option, and you took that one. I'm a little disappointed, Matt. I expected you to understand. I was trying to look out for you. You were trying to... I don't know. What were you trying to do? This is gonna hurt me a lot more than it hurts you. Now I have to find a new way of doing an initiation. And of course, it's not gonna be pretty. Well, at least you are. There's a silver lining to everything, so why don't you decide? You can pick pain or pleasure. Either way, you're going to have to do it. Somehow I knew you'd pick that one. Hate to say it, Mouse, but you might just be a bit predictable. Or maybe I'm just that fast, or maybe I slowed you down one too many times in that. Oh, nothing personal, of course. It's just, what the fuck were you thinking? And now you had the nerve of picking one. It was such an obvious bait. Never mind. I just thought of a good compromise, huh? This time, looks like you lucked out. You lucked out pretty big time, actually. Kind of admire your luck today. 3 occasions that you've all managed to survive with flying colors. And now, all you gotta bear is the responsibility I said from the very start. Bearing responsibility for your master. Me. Now, I have to put you through this. And judging by those eyes of yours, you knew exactly what you were getting yourself into, didn't you? Well, don't blame me if things get a little dicey. Going forward, I can't hold back with this. It is your punishment, after all. Somehow it's cute how much I slowed you. I'm kind of impressed, to be honest with you. I didn't expect things to go this way. You to be so obedient, and I guess you deserve something, don't you? More than what you've already gotten, so... Here, I'll give you a trinket. One of the last things I have with my parents. Before I lost them, just like you. It was also around your age, too. Just hit 20s, just hit adulthood. Felt like I didn't know what I was doing, so that was my only thing that kept me going. Feels good to give it away, though. Like I no longer have to rely on it. Like I'm my own man. Like I'm free of the shackles of what I thought I always had to be. Now I'm doing things my way. I hurt who I want. I save who I want. Isn't it just perfect harmony? I go where I please. I do what I want. All within the boundaries of what I want to do within this mafia. Isn't it great? Whatever I see, I chase after. Not even the stars are too far. And that way, I know I've got people around me that will stop at nothing just to see me succeed along with them. Why would I ever give up? Why would I ever betray them? I wouldn't. In fact, nothing could get me to. Afraid not even you, Matt. If you were some kind of betrayer, I suggest you look elsewhere, because there's no way I'm going to be the fucking weakest link. It's just not who I am. What can I say? I'm a dreamer. And something about Overhaul's dream, it just strikes with me. It's like my dream, but stronger. Something like that. Never know what to say when it comes to it, but I guess I do dream too. Dream of things that most people would cringe at. And yet here I am, looking up at the stars, reaching my hand out, looking for something I've never seen, never thought about. Looking for something like a wish. Even if I know they're not gonna come for me. Wishes never do to people like me. It's just the law of the land, I guess. Or is that the universal law? I couldn't tell you. As much as science fascinates me, I was always more of a psychology major myself. And day in and day out, I'd be mystified with how strange and wonderful madness could be, people could be. It was impossible. You see, the more I looked at the bad in the world, the more I saw some potential for something good. Yeah, I know. A villain doing good. Well, if it helps any, I'm not really considering myself a villain. I never did. In truth, I'm gonna be honest with you. I always just considered myself a misunderstood good guy. I don't like hurting people, and, well, I can, without much effort. I'd much prefer getting my job done without having to dirty my hands. Instead, I'd rather spend my time painting. Maybe as a reward for you passing all this and being a part of the family. How about I paint you next time? Well, you see, if I stab you a little and then get my paintbrush, I could paint a picture in your blood. Sounds like something another hero might do, or another villain. The only difference is, it'll be immortalized. That's just the beauty of it, isn't it? We get to be immortalized just by putting paint to canvas. Life is just the same. You can make it a beautiful work of art or burn it all at the stake. And I choose to believe that what we're doing, it's worth risking getting burned at the stake. Instead, I'd burn gladly if it meant a chance at success. Wouldn't it be great? Being able to live in a world we want to, instead of a world we have to.